Hello.
Hi, Srinivas.
Hi, Harita. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, start the recording. Started.
Yes, started.
You're able to see my screen?
Yeah.
These are the topics we had discussed during our last class. So do you have doubt on any of the topic?
No.
Yes. Last class we discussed about these three, right? The discussion was statements, statement, callable statement. You are clear with the statements? The fancy?
Yeah.
I'll be showing an example. Anyway. Now we'll be doing an example for these three, like statement, prepared statement, callable statement. So in generally, in order to work with any program, definitely we need a connection, right?
Yeah, we need a connection, yes.
Connection. So connection logic is we have coded in welcome DB. So once again we have to repeat the same statements in those programs to get the database connection, right? So I'm going to do, I'm going to convert this as an utility. So I do not want to copy paste this logic in all the files. Instead, I'll create a method in one class. So I'll call that method whenever I require.
Okay. Okay. You write this welcome DB as a method in one class.
Yes. So we'll call that method whenever we need a database connection in any program.
Okay.
We are not copy paste this logic in all the programs, right? Okay. So I'm just naming it as kind of utility. I'll just so this is a program. So what I did, I just created one method instead of public static partner. I just created a method which is called get connection. Whenever calls this method, it's going to give us a connection. So the logic is same, right? So DB utility is a plus. So I'm going to call this method now in yesterday's program. The complete logic, right? Now I'm not going to do all this stuff. Okay. DB util dot get connection. So I'll run the same program to show you that it's working as expected. So welcome DB doesn't contain anything now.
Yeah.
DB successful. From where we are getting this message? From this program, right?
Get connection.
Get connection is a method which we have created. Created all the logic like opening of a connection, typing to database and everything, right?
Okay. Okay.
This we do
So
in
in the same package, we created another class like
some other
DB.
package. It can be any package because all
Okay.
DB utilities in today's package.
Oh yeah.
Yesterday's package, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Can be any
As it is
package
public, okay.
because it's public, right? That just any,
Yeah. Understood.
right?
Mm.
So now this is a base program now. From this slide, we'll continue with the other topics. Like I'll copy
Okay.
this welcome DB. I'll just name it. Okay. So this is a basic thing, right? So to work with the database, so I just made it, copied it instead of type. So from here, now we'll be using a statement. What is the statement? Statement is like it can be used for or it can be for like if you want to perform any operation. This is a basic statement that can be used to talk to database. So let's say I would like to display some records in student table. The student is one table. So what are the records which are having? Having student number, name, and the ID, name, and database. These are the three fields. I would like to give a query to database. Give me all those records, and I'll display all those records in the Java program. So I'll be using a statement for that purpose here. Okay.
Okay.
So once you got the database connection is loaded successfully. Once you got a connection, it's your you need to write the logic remaining with. So I'll be creating statement st. So you need to create a statement using connection object con dot create statement. So the statement object is created. Okay. Now I would like to execute the query. So what is the query? st dot is st is in the statement. So execute query is a method. So here I would like to write a query. What is the query? Select, write database.
Yeah,
So
I know that.
yeah, select star from table name is going to give us all the records, all
Yeah.
columns for all the records, right? Table. So once you execute this query, it's going to give a result. So we need to capture that result, right? Let me handle the exception. We are getting complex. I'll handle it provide. So we need to capture that, right? That's where we have to go for the result set. So result set means it's kind of like all the records which whatever is there in the database, you need to capture that information. So I'll be storing variable result set rs. So that means it has executed the query and what are the results which are retrieved are stored in this variable. Once this data is stored, we need to simply use any kind of loop to display the information from this result set object. So I'll be while start next. So the result set, do you have any next record? So let's keep on checks until if there are no records to read, it will come out of the loop. So simply, so I would like to display first column, second column, third column, right? In the when you are working with the database, index starts with 1. In general, Java index starts with 0, right? But with respect to database, it's 1. So when I say 1, it's going to give you this column. I mean the name column. What I'll do, I'll simply say rs dot get string of 1. So this is going to give me all the names. So I'm printing only the names. If you can see the names, all the names are table. So John Williams is the last record, right? So John Williams is the last record, right? So all the records. So if you want to print the IDs as well. So ID is nothing but 0, 1, 2. Right? So 1, 2, 3, right? So I'll let to say third one which is of numeric, right? So I'll simply say 3. So it's going to give me this one. And if you observe, we have opened a connection, we have opened a statement, we have opened a result set. Are we closing all these things? No, right? So always make sure to close all those things. make sure to release everything once you're done with your task.
Okay.
So
So we need to close.
it's always good practice to close.
Okay, what happens if you don't close that?
It will be still in the memory. The garbage collector is going to take care of the later on.
Okay, okay.
So if you open something, if you're not closing, still it will be open in the memory, right?
Hmm.
So like garbage collector, when the shortage in the memory, then it cleans up all those things. So that's where like being like, any program, like if you do something, if the be it a file or anything, so open it and perform your task and close it. If you feel that something else is going to be needed, I do not want to close, then you can leave it as it is.
Okay. Just we can close the database connection, right? But you closed that
Everything we have to close.
Okay, result set, okay, everything statement, okay.
See, if I'm not closing also, it was not giving an error. It's unless the object is open. If you close,
Mm-hmm.
release the resources properly. So always make sure to, all these are like heavy resources. Like opening a connection is not the simple thing. For us, like it's a two lines. But at the background, it's opening a database connection. There is a channel established with the database, right? Database is another system altogether. It's not yours. So
Mm.
we are opening a lot of like the resource in the background. So always make sure to release all those things.
Okay.
Otherwise, it might impact in the performance wise over the period, like when you're in the production, you're not
Mm.
making it. So it might impact the performance as well if your things keep on opening the resources but not releasing. So all these things, to avoid all these things, always make sure to close whenever you are done with your task.
Mm.
Got it?
Got it.
The next one, the prepare statement. So if you want to repeat the same statement again and again, like and with a different set of values, prepare statement is the preferred thing. So using prepare statement, what I'll do, you can also do anything. So what we'll do, I'll go for the insertion statement. So means I would like to insert a couple of values. So into this table, I'll copy the same statement demo. Prepared. This part is common, right? So I
Yeah,
remember that.
connection. Connection is common.
Yes, prepared statement. Yes, go to on the paste statement. So we want to write the actual query. So let's say I would like to save a record. Into so here we are not going to give the values. If it is a statement, we have to give the values directly. If it is a prepared statement, we are not going to give the values. We only give the question marks, and later we are going to pass the value. That's where this query is going to be compiled only once. That's what I told you, right?
Yeah, you told. But okay, can you tell it again? Actually, I
Sure,
didn't
sure,
remember
sure.
that.
So main difference between the statement and prepared statement is when you
Mm.
request any statement with a statement, any database query to the statement, it will compile every time. So,
Yeah, you said just like hundreds to
so
100
like if you take
records.
hundreds or thousand records, so 100 or 1,000 student records I'm saving. So if
Mm.
I'm saving a record using a statement, so 100 or 1,000 times, like whatever the number you are repeating, that many
Mm.
number of times it's going to compile, because every
Mm.
each and every query you are going to give the values, not the question marks. But in the
Okay.
prepared statement, so no matter like whether you're dealing with 100 or 1,000, whatever, it's going to
Mm.
compile only one, because when you prepare a query, you're going to give it a question mark. So the question marks query is going to be passed once. After that, you
Mm.
are going to replace the question mark with values, but the query is not going to compile once again. So once compiled, it will be used. So you can, if it is a one, like the minimum number of iterations, that doesn't make any difference. If you are repeating the same query again and again for many number of iterations, then you can
Mm.
see some performance difference. This one is far better than this one.
Mm.
Got it?
Mm. Mm. Prepared statement is better than statement.
Yes. in the performance perspective. Right. So we have how many fields?
29.
49, right?
Hmm.
So 999, do you have any 888? 888 we do not have, right? I'll just so first we need to first one is called short string, right? Last one. So what I did was I'm passing value for 1, 2, 3. One is the name, date of birth, and the name passed, and the date of birth and the ID. So this is the values I'm setting. So here if you observe 3 question marks, that means for the first, this 1, 2, 3 indicates that 1 refers to first question mark, 2 refers to second question mark, 3 refers to third question mark. For these 3 question mark, you are setting the values. So first one, name, the date, and the value, the numeric. Once you are done with everything, simply say something on display. Student save when you refresh it. So Harita, right? You could say that. Then your record is going to be inserted like that. If you pass here, if you have 1,000 records, simply what you'll do, you'll be having a loop here. For that loop, you'll repeat in this statement. So each and every record, the queries we are not passing here. Okay, we are only setting the values. So as the number of records you increase, that many number of times it will just insert the records that you want recompiling the query. Got it?
Okay.
Same insertion you can also perform with the statement. Only difference is statement is like it's not preferred when you are repeating for too many times. That's where we go for the.
But here also it is compiling so many times, right?
Here we are compiling only once here, this one. After that, if you have 1,000 times, means 1,000 times you are repeating, you are going to repeat this one. You are not going to repeat this statement.
Suppose if you want to give 10 values, I mean 10 records, then how do you do that?
So this one you are going to repeat.
Oh, in while loop like that?
Well, obviously when we want to repeat means there should be some loop, right? Any loop.
Yeah.
So that loop
okay, for or anything.
You have to repeat this part.
Okay.
So this one we are not going to repeat because the structure is same. So inserting query is same. Only thing for those 10 guys, these 3 question marks are going to change values. So that's what we are.
Okay, statement demo, what we did, just once we'll go to that.
Statement demo, just query we have given. So
yeah, in the insertion, what we did. So okay, just given query over there.
Exactly.
Okay. Here also we gave only so query it is so we gave query, that's why it's compiling so many times.
No, not like that. So main intention is if you are repeating same query again and again, that's where every time it's going to compile with the statement. So it's going to query is going to be compiled every time because the query values are going to be passed along with the query. But with the prepared statement, so if you observe the question marks are the placeholders. So with the question marks, it will compile. So for the all records, it will compile with only one question marks, right? So query is not changing. So first time when it compiles, the query is same. So it will not issue the same query for compiling. Instead, it simply inserts the records. Got it?
Yeah, but in statement demo,
In statement
I'm
demo,
not getting.
no, here the example I gave is statement demo for retrieving I used, and prepare statement for saving I used. So you cannot compare both the examples in here. So
Okay,
what I'm
okay.
trying to do, one example I used for getting all the records. The other example I used for saving a record, right?
Okay,
Code
I
wise you cannot
understood
compare.
what you said, but I'm not able to analyze it exactly. That's why I'm asking the difference. That's
Okay.
it.
Difference.
As an example.
So the statement also you can write the same way in this like this. Okay.
Okay.
Statement as equal to conduct create statement. You can write the query. But when you're writing a statement, so it won't accept the question marks. It simply accepts the values here.
Okay.
Insert into table name values, the student name, the date of birth, and the number.
Oh yeah, but we didn't give any values over there, right? Just we gave the wrote a query.
Example, once again, you're confusing. This query to retrieve all the values.
Okay, you just
Not
now you
insertion
said
of
that.
records.
Okay.
Records.
Okay.
If you take an example of insertion of records only,
Okay.
so basically I would like to cover multiple examples. So one to retrieve, one to insertion like that. That's the idea for the example.
Now I understood. Okay, the same statement to insert elements by using the statement, we give the values near the question marks.
Yes, it won't because it won't accept question marks. You have to give the values. So for the next student, once again, you have to give the once again values, right? So first query
Yeah.
and second query, there is a difference because when you compare from the strings perspective, query is different, right?
Yeah, now I got
It
understood.
compares.
Okay.
But with respect to prepare statement, we are giving question mark. So no matter like whether to deal with any number, for all those guys, we are only giving question mark. And later we are filling that question mark with the values. So query, actual query is same for all those guys. So compiles only once.
Okay, I got confused with that statement demo and this one. Okay, now I got cleared.
Clear, right? Okay, good.
Clear.
The next one, the callable statement. Callable statement is to, in case you want to call a function or a procedure which is there in the database, right? Similar to Java, that we write a function, then even the database developers are also going to write some functions. So the reason is there are certain cases that we are not going to write Java logic. So some reason we'll write that that kind of a primary logic in the database as well. But if you are writing database developer Java and DB logic, so how it has to be integrated from Java? Definitely something has to be there, right? So from Java, the callable statement is that which is going to send a parameters to your database function and get the value out of it. Like so, this your complete logic is going to be executed in the database, and then computed result is going to be sent to your Java function. So that means logic is sitting in database. From Java, you are only invoking. But
Understood.
if you want to have that kind of implementation, so callable statement is the thing which you need to use. So there are certain cases that I do not want my logic to be in Java. I want it to be in database. That's fine. If you're willing to keep everything in the database, no problem. We can call with a callable statement to invoke your logic.
Okay, okay. We will write our logic in a database, but we will call that logic in Java through this callable statement.
Java is a front end, right? So anybody
Oh
wants
yeah.
to have something to be in the, they have to see the data, like they have to communicate whatever in the front end perspective, right? In the Java, we can view the details and we can update the details. But at the background, everything is happening in the database, right?
Understood.
So in my machine, I'm having a couple of functions. Delete lot of things that there and that's for each and every class I started creating too many. Assume that this is one of the functions which is coded. So basically, these functions are going to be created by database developer. So I'm taking one example that there is one function already created, and that function we are going to call from database. So from Java, okay. So
Okay.
function name is add, which is going to take 2 integers. So what exactly it is doing here? So it's performing whatever the integer that you pass, it's simply performing the sum. Okay. Then this is the function, suppose, which is there in the database. We'll see how to call this function. Okay, in case if you want to create your own function for our example, but in reality, database developers are going to write. Simply
Okay.
copy paste. Some all numbers. That's the pair number. I'm naming. Let me pass 3 values. Just like that, I'm creating. Query reference. That means the function is created successfully. So add numbers is the function which is created just now, which is taking 3 integers, performing summing of those 3 and sending it back. So here we took the simple logic, just performing summing of the numbers. So logic can be anything, but from Java we should see how we can invoke that function. Right?
Okay.
So that's the part. Like once you invoke the logic, whatever is there inside that function, that is going to be executed that database itself. I removed everything. Right? We wanted to make it empty. Number statement. Callable statement. The third one I'm creating. This one I'm creating. Conduct where qualities. Conduct where call. Inside that we need to mention that what is your function name. Okay.
Okay.
Function name. Add numbers is a function name, right? Add numbers function you need to call how to call using call method. So how many parameters it is having? 3 parameters, right?
Oh yeah.
So this is your function. Which one to call, right?
So prepare call method is calling add numbers method.
Exactly. So when it's adding something, it's returning something, right? We need to capture, right? So for that, there will be one more question mark.
Okay. Again, question mark there.
Returning something. So these are inputs to your function.
Yes,
It
I
is
understood that.
value somewhere hash. So if we just think from the regular perspective, A equal to B means B value is going to be assigned here, right? That means what are the values computed here is going to be stored in this question mark. What is this question mark that we are going to talk about here? The next line, okay? The things which are on the right side are going to be sent to your function. The things which are on the left side is going to be variable kind of thing which is going to be holded by the value. Now, the question marks count if you take 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 4 question marks. Question marks are 4, right? Question marks are 4.
Yes.
No?
But we have only 3 values.
Yeah, 3 values to be supplied and the 1 value which we are going to read. So,
Okay.
in the second question mark, I'm passing something. From serial number perspective, This is 2, 3, 4, right?
Yeah.
So for second one, third one, fourth one, passing some values. 10, 20, 30, whatever the values you wish to perform other me. And then result execute. So this is going to execute it. But whatever the result that is retrieved from the database, you need to hold it, right? So that means first we need to talk about the first question mark. That
Mm.
I need to tell that there is a separate method for it. Register float parameter. I'll explain it. So this is input to your function, right?
Mm.
So this is output value to capture it. So that's the register.output parameter is a method. So what we're saying, we are typing, I'm referring to first index. What is the return value? It's an integer. That's what we're telling. So I'm telling that I'm talking about this question mark that this is the output value which I'm expecting and which is of type integer. That's what I told you here. The first location I said integer. So whatever the value is. Once you execute it, so now it's executed successfully. Now it's your turn to print the value. Where is present exists? First location, right?
Yeah.
So I need to say cs dot get enter 1. We're done now.
So we are passing our values into result, right? I mean record.
We are passing our values to this function. This function is the logic which is playing. It's doing all those things for us. Computation is sending back. So when it's sending back, we need to hold it, right? That's what we did this guy.
We placed the question mark over there. Okay.
Yes, but the question mark left side is obviously if you do any assignment, a equal to b I said means b value is going to be showed into a, right? In the same way, the left question mark is to placeholder. So where I'm going to hold the value which is coming from the right side. So the one is sent is going to be showed. So this one is nothing but it's a numeric value that we know. That value. So when I get in, I'm going to get the result. So 60. Who has performed the summing of the numbers? It's database guy. Database system together, right? We are just communicating, that's all.
So we wrote all the logic in the database over there.
Exactly.
Just to be sure.
In this example, I just took some simple summing of the numbers. Assuming that you might be having big logic. So, but for that, you are passing parameters to database, and database is doing all the stuff. And finally,
but we wrote the logic there, but we are giving the values. I mean, we are setting the values from here, right?
Yes.
Okay. The operation, everything will be done there. Okay.
Main execution part is done in the database. So, why I am giving the values from the Java? Because Java is the invocation part. Let's say there is a assume that you are giving a small screen to a user that to enter some number and ask him to click a submit button, which will go to help us in summing up the numbers. So user is going to enter whatever the choice, right? It means UI, we are going to give a choice to user. Based on his values, we are going to send it to database. Here I just fix the value 10, 20, 30. But in reality, I will give the variables. First variable, whatever the user is entered.
Oh, you give the variables there?
Yes, we will give the variables which is entered by the user.
So where we give the values to the variables?
So this is a standalone program, right? So let's say if you want to read the variables, you know, right? Scanner.
Scanner, yes.
So we'll ask user, please enter number 1, number 2, number 3. 3 values you entered. So those variables I'll pass it here.
To read at a time, right?
Scanner is to read one by one.
Okay, one by one. Okay.
At a time, but one number at a time.
One by one.
Right? So we use this scanner for 3 times. So we read 3 variables. Those 3 variables will send it here.
Okay.
This means that we are not fixing the values here. So in this example, to show that the summing of the numbers, this is how to Here, intention is how you integrate your Java with database. That's the main intention. After the
Okay.
values is not a matter for us, because once you know how to use the scanner, I'll just use those variables here. That means on the fly, based on the user choice, whatever the user is entering the number, that number you are sending to database and performance and returning the result.
Okay. Okay.
You're clear?
Okay. So when the execution part starts, it comes to this get connection method right here.
First get connection, it loads the
So it
connection.
goes to the get connection, and what again? It will do the.
First part, this gets the connection. Once you got the connection, now it's your turn to invoke the function which is there in the database.
Yeah,
For the
prepare call.
prepare call, so what is your function name? So there is a standard template that needs to follow. In brackets, and inside that question mark and the call, and this is the name, and the number of question matters based on the function that you are invoking.
So by this seeing this add numbers, it goes back to the database and does the logic.
Yes, exactly. Not from here. It will do the logic here. Means here you are just setting the values. When you
Okay,
say
okay.
execute, then only it will execute. Until then, you are just telling that this is my function, this is the values.
Oh,
If
understood,
you're not
understood.
doing anything, it will not do anything.
Okay, okay. It won't execute.
It will not execute, right?
Yes.
This statement will not execute. This statement will just, you are saying that this is my structure, this is my function, and this is the parameters. So these are the values for my parameters. Executing, nothing will happen. You won't get the result what you are expecting.
60.
It's 60. That's what we have seen the output here, right?
Yes.
If you are not executing, you won't get the result what you are expecting.
Oh,
That's what.
oh. Okay. If I'm not executing, what the result we will get? Okay.
So whatever the sum, essentially the logic is performing in the database.
I think it will go to the exception. It gives the error.
Where?
Just we wrote in the catch block. If it throws an exception, just
In which scenario it throws an exception?
no. Just you asked me if we skip that execute statement,
If you skip an execute statement,
then what the result will it get? It show?
the
Yeah.
result will be retrieved from the Callable statement. Because we are not executed, but we are asking that give me a result. So it will simply shout on us. If you are not executing, then you expect the result back to me, right?
Oh, okay.
If you comment this part, then nothing will happen. You're not executing, you're not asking. So
Okay.
you're come, I'm also come.
Just it will make a connection to the database.
You
That's
make
it.
connection, you do everything, getting ready, but you never
Okay.
call me, so no problem.
Okay. Okay. I thought that it will give something runtime error like that. Okay.
If you are not calling and if you are expecting like this, then it will be a problem.
Okay.
If you're not at all calling me, then there won't be any issue, right?
Understood.
Yep.
Clear.
Any confusion in these statements?
No, I'm clear now.
Clear, right? Okay. So you are aware of HTML, or is it?
I'm aware, but I forgot that.
Okay, yeah.
But I remembered a bit little that a tag, body, head, like that. We do give something and we close everything. Just we open and close, right?
Exactly. So the reason I'm asking you, if you're already comfortable, then I'll skip this, and if you're not comfortable, I'll take it accordingly.
Okay, just I know that how we create, but logical I don't.
Okay, okay, no problem. We'll add it. So first of all, what is HTML?
Hypertext markup language.
Yes, for what for programming we go for it. So Java is like not for front end, right? Java is for regular purpose. So if you want to go for something, the browser related stuff. So HTML is one of the most common used stuff, like hypertext markup language. Basically,
Yeah.
it has some kind of a structure where we'll be following something to be coded. So when I say basic structure, it is going to have a HTML tag, head tag, title tag, body tag. So these are the basic tags that you can see whenever you are working with any kind of HTML programming. So we can create the HTML directly using new. Go for other option, search for HTML. You can get the HTML file. So just it's going to give us the complete template. And just an empty again. So if you see that I didn't type all these things. I selected a HTML type. So automatically the basic structure came into picture, right?
Okay. Yeah.
You can execute this HTML in any browser. One second. So I directly execute it in the browser. There will be no output because nothing is there inside, right? HTML headings. HTML headings are the headings which is going to. We have 6 headings, H1 to H6. H6 for what purpose? So depends on the heading number tag H1 or H2, H3, H4, H6. Depends on the size that you'll be getting that particular size of the heading. So when you display something, so we might need some heading in the bigger size and the bigger font, right? So any of these things. Like H1. That means instead of you performing something, Java HTML itself has given a standard size. So in case if it matches, you can go for any of those sizes. H1, so it has open and closed, right? Like that H2, H3, H4, H6. And then this one, you might see in different sizes. So if you use H1, I'll be getting this size. When I'll be using H6, I'll be getting this size. So whenever you create your HTML page, you can for either of these things like H1 to H3, depends on the size which you are looking for. Right? It all depends on the need, like which one, how much big you want. So if it is beyond this one, then you can go for the font tag that is different case. So like 3 different tags that are given for us. So that you can go for any of these things to be used when you are working the programming. The next one is HTML links. Have you ever heard this HTML link?
I did not remember that.
HTML link means generally when you open it, suppose if it
Or clicking the links.
is the mouse pointer change, right?
Yeah.
Those are called the links. That means if you open any website, like you might see like a lot of options, right? But all those content will not be displayed there. So it will give a placeholder that if you click on that one, so it might redirect to something else where it performs the actual thing, right?
Okay, yeah.
Define the tag called anchor tag. We call it as an anchor tag.
Okay.
So this is the tag which is going to help us in displaying any particular link. So let's say this is my HTML page, right? Here I would like to provide a small link. When a user clicks on that, I would like to redirect him to any particular website. So what I can do, I can use a link tag option. Let's see. Here, what are the message? What are the message you would like to display to the content? So I can use this message between the tag A. Here, type the URL. What are the URL you are looking for? Google website. When I click on this, in case if the address is correct, it goes to that particular website. Right? Because what happens if I give yahoo.com? It goes to Yahoo website, nothing happens.
Okay. Just it displays like a link, like okay.
This link, whatever you wish to display here, you can display XYZ whatever. Information to the user that if you
Okay.
click on this, you go to that particular
Okay. Okay.
but it's all the navigation like I'm using for.
Mm.
The main
Anchor tag.
anchor tag and the address of the website, like website or page, anything you can give it, provided that should be a valid one. So this is just a display of the label onto your front end screen. It is simply redirect to that particular location. HTML image tag. Image tags are like, in case you want to display some image on your UI screen, you can go for HTML images. Means I'm doing some, usually it happens, right? When you are designing website, means you might display header image, footer image, at the bottom image. There are images you usually display, right? For that, we need to go for IMG tag. This is the tag which is going to alpha image. Basically, it has a SRC property which is going to tell that what is the location of the image along with the file name, height and width you can mention for that image, and there is an option called ALT, image alternative message. If the image is not available, what should be displayed? So these are the 4 parameters that can be supplied to your image. Okay. For example, equal to follow. Okay. Suppose this image is not available, obviously, right? So what I am doing here, I'm asking to give me the image horror.png. In case this image is not available, show me this caption and height and width. I'm expecting this much. See, my image is a caption because image is not available, right? Height and width is displayed, so and so. Let me copy any image file which is there in my dashboard. My
Image. You went up, right?
Is there my image? This is some photo.
Yeah, okay.
Image. And I'm copying it to my photo. What I'll do, file name is my image.png, right? So I'll just do my image.png. Okay. The rest everything else sitting as is. When I run this one, it was able to find the image, hence it will display the image. But if image is not available, so image 1 is the different wrong file name, right? Then it displays the caption as usual. That means depends on the location, it displays the image path along with the image that you are displaying here. It's quite common, right? We'll display an image and we'll write something about that image, right? When you are designing some website, we'll display images. This is the most common thing.
Okay. Yeah. We
displaying in images.
Okay.
Any doubts on the topics of whatever we discussed today?
No.
Clear it? Everything's fine, right? Okay, Artha, I think that's it for today, and we'll continue tomorrow with the next topic.
Okay then.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Good night.
Good night.